We're on our 7th video in our series of how to on the new Nexone agent / Repree. This one, we're actually going to take a look at how to fill out Schedule A on your forms. So this is a continuation of the forms video, which was basically the last ones. And I'm also going to do a quick recap on how to use the forms. So having said that, I'm going to go to Sam Lister. No, I'm not. I'm going to go to Joe Seller. So this is my client. He's going to be purchasing a property. We found one for him on New Street. So I want to add a transaction. I want to go to 1223 New Street, add that in as the transaction name. He is a buyer, so this time I'm going to choose buyer. He's active, and I'm going to save. That will add a buyer transaction into my file for Joe Seller. Now I want to add the documents to that file. So I need to prepare an agreement of purchase and sale. So I'm going to click on Add Documents. I'm going to go to Launch Forms. Remember, Launch Web Forms. I'm going to go to My Groups instead of All Forms because I've got my transaction kits in there, making things easier for you guys. And I'm going to scroll through them till I find the transaction group I need. So I'm very lucky. The very first one is an agreement of purchase and sale freehold. That's what I want. So I'm going to click on that. It's got all the forms I'm going to need for purchase. And then I'm going to go over to the left-hand side and click on Populate. If I had the MLS number, I could put that in there. I don't. So I'm going to go through and continue without data. I could also put the PIN number from Land Registry in, and it would populate some of the information. So I'm going to continue without data. And now it's launching my forms. So the last time, if you remember, we went in and got a listing kit. This time we're doing a buyer's kit. Again, on the left-hand side is our menu of forms. If I want to close it, I click on Close. If I want to see it again, the arrow will bring it back. I'm going to go through either on the left-hand side by tabbing down and filling in the forms, or going through the offer and filling in that way. So whichever way you're comfortable, there's two options. I'm going to pretend I've filled all this in, and I'm going to go down to our Schedule A. In our previous web forms, there was an Insert Clause button on the Schedule A. We have an Insert Clause button, but it's over here on the left-hand side, and it's called Clauses and Phrases. We need to click on Clauses and Phrases to populate our Schedule A. I click on that. Another box opens up with 3 different categories. One category is all the clauses: broker's clauses, my clauses, and the clauses from web forms. They're all there. You can type in and look for a clause by category or by name. But again, we've given you guys a shortcut. If you click into brokerage clauses, we have created offer templates for conditional on finance and inspection, conditional condo offer, a firm offer, an offer for a buyer selling their property, one with a pool clause, a country one with well septic, etc. The reason we've set these up is to make things quicker for you. All of these templates have the opening clause of buyer to pay the balance, whatever specific clauses for that particular template. That has a warranty clause for the chattels and fixtures. It has a grow up clause. It will also have a revisit clause in there, and to leave the property clear of debris and a clean swept condition. So for this example, I'm going to use the top one, offer template number 1, a condition on finance and inspection. I'm going to hit the orange button, insert, and it's going to put all those clauses into my Schedule A. At this point in time, I may modify this. Say you're the type of agent that likes 5 business days. Then you would take out the date part and fill in 5 business days. If you only like 1 revisit, then you're going to remove the word 2 and put in 1. Take the plural off. And if there was, say you wanted to add a clause, going into all clauses, we want to look at completion clauses. Say you like to put in a completion date change clause. So I'm going to hit insert, put that one in there on mutually agreed. I don't want it there, so I'm going to cut it, and I'm going to put it after the representations. And now I have inserted a completion change clause. So this is pretty much how I really like my offers. So I'm going to save this. So the next time I need a condition of finance and inspection, I'm going to get this letter A out. So the next time I need a condition of finance and inspection offer, I've got my own Laura's COF COI template. And I'm going to save. So the next time, all I have to do is go into my clauses. Let's get rid of this. My clauses, all clauses. Come on, let's switch it over. Sorry about that, guys. Jumped over. There it is, Laura's COF COI template. So if this was already there, I would have chosen that and I wouldn't have had to make any modifications. So now I'm going to insert it into my Schedule A. So, sorry, my computer must be tired. There we go. Everything's into my Schedule A. I proof it, looks good. Now I'm going to save it back into my transaction. I've filled all the forms out that I want to fill out, and I'm going to save it back to my transaction. So I click on the orange button in the top right corner that says Save PDF to Transaction. I go through and I choose which forms I've filled out that I want to use. And I've filled out the Working with a Realtor, BRA. I've done the FinTrack, and that's it. So now I'm going to save those documents. And now it's going to be putting them into Joe Seller's account or file. Give it a second. It's taking a minute. It's a lot of forms for it to transfer over. We'll do the do. There we go. So now all the forms that I just filled out are all in Joe Seller's purchase of 1223 New Street, and there are all the forms. Again, I can go in and edit them if I want to. And remember, we have to edit down at the blue editable forms area by clicking on View. That will take me to my forms to be able to edit them. I can look at the forms, make sure they're filled in correctly. And if I want to print one from there, I click on the print icon. Likewise, if I wanted to email this to somebody, I would put in my client's email address, Joe Seller at blah, 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 blah. Type in a message, choose which forms I'm going to email him, the agreement. I'm going to send them all to him. And then I click send email, and it then sends those documents out to my seller or the buyer agent or whatever it is, or the listing agent, whatever it is you're working with. Last but not least, I can send it by e-signature. I use the ratify button for e-signature. I choose myself as a signer. Joe's going to be a signer and his wife Jane. I can modify the automatic message if I want. I then put the documents that I want to be signed across to the other side. For those of you that are OCD and want them in a specific order, maybe I'll do working with a realtor first, buyer agency, then I'll do the offer summary. Oh, throw in my FinTrack, my confirmation, and then finally my agreement of purchase and sale. I'm going to hit tag for signatures. And for those of you that have used either DocuSign or eSign before, it's exactly the same. I choose who I need to sign, scroll it down from here, and I need their initials right here, and I need their signatures on both lines. And then I can grab their date and time, and then on to the next one. Same thing here. Buyer's initials. Sorry. Do it one more time. You get the gist. So we go through all of the forms, pointing out where the initials need to be. In this case, I would have pre-filled out the FinTrack and maybe put a couple initials on there to cover the fact that they did give me the accurate information. Fill out the confirmation. Again, grabbing my buyer signatures. Here, if I'm initialing, I'm going to get rid of those two and throw my initial down. I'm going to scroll down to the signature area. Well, I need to sign here, and I need to date it. And my buyers are going to sign down here. Throw Joe down below and put in the dates. Grab that signature. Head on. Go all the way through your agreement of purchase and sale, doing the same thing. I always use this as a good rule of thumb, is I scroll back up and through to make sure I haven't missed any. And then when I'm certain I haven't missed any, I can hit send. Once I've hit send, it takes me back into my home dashboard. Here I can see that the documents were actually sent because it's telling me documents were sent for e-signing. Right here, the green symbol is telling me that they've gone out for e-signing. If it turned orange, it means one of the parties has started using the e-signature. If it goes black and there's documents above, it means it's been completed, and the documents that are above that line are your signed documents. You can actually go in to view, edit tags, or edit signers. So if you needed to change an email address or add another signer on there, you can do that. You can edit the tags. So say your client opened up the document, said, hey, there's a tag missing. You could go in there, add the tag, send it to them again. Or you could start signing yourself here. Info, if you click on that and you go to sign audit, you can follow the progress of the documents being signed. Remember, you need to refresh this every once in a while for you to see the progress. So that's basically it. We have learned how to add a buyer transaction, the buyer forms. We know now we can go down to editable forms, click view, and that will allow us to go in and modify these forms that we have already created, or add another form to the bunch that we have. We have learned that if we click view, we can print the form and we can download it to our computer. If we click on email, we can send an email with any or all of the forms. And we click ratify, that allows us to go into the electronic signature process and allow the documents to go to your client for e-sign. If you have any other questions, please let me know, but that's the end of number 7. And I hope you're enjoying these. It's quite fun to do them, and I'll see you in the next video. Good night.